iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. Ahly 3, Kaizer Chiefs 0. CAF Champions League Final. Pitso Mosimane wins his third CAF Champions League. He's effectively the most successful club coach in African football. His third Champions League. No one else, no African coach has been able to achieve that on the continent. Joseph Makhanya, our analyst, as always. It was exactly what we expected in terms of the result. And at some point, for 75% of the game, even in terms of the game, Chiefs were positive in the first 10 minutes, but that was all it wrote for the most part. What did you make of the approach of Kaizer Chiefs, information, but even the way that they set up?
Greetings to you, viewership.
Yes, sir.
From information, Ahlys, they went for a 4-2-3-1. Then we have why they went for that formation. You get the Chiefs, they went for a 4-3-3. So for me now, from inside the Chiefs, it's something very new in terms of how they were approaching our games, their previous games from we did from Simba. It was something new in terms of information, but they always had. They always had that spearman. They always had 3 central defenders, meaning they always made sure that they compressed their central key defensive positions. So, which is something that it led to Pitso change information Ahlys from changing my personnels. We saw then we were worried with why Ahlys. So is there something which maybe we are born or ganjan party? It only it was a matter of time with the party. Then again, we are football is a game of moments. One stupid moment can result into a team changing tactics, having to adjust to from one approach to another. After from first half, it looked like they were boxing very well. They were competing, and they also had an exit plan, which is something that we always complained about. So they had an exit plan, Mashiane, no. So it meant that Ahlys, my attack all the time, they made sure that they use overloads very well. We heard Coach Pitso shouting that overload. So meaning you overload one side, then you change direction to another side. So all the time you had wing backs attacking your right back. Their right back was constantly moving forward, especially being a threat, causing havoc from side left hand side the Chiefs. So it became a problem. The way they were changing my side in a corner, they knew what they wanted to do. Whenever they wanted depth, they had depth in terms of Lamatipa passes. They had Mohamed Sherif Pambili, who was very mobile, and he had to deal with net defender, which maybe he had one cover instead of 2, which is something they were used to. So it became a situation with the very same moment by change my tactics, red card Mashiane. I feel good game. Maybe it could have taken maybe a bit of 10 yana, maybe score, maybe 1-0, or maybe Sbone Yaguma.
So in your opinion, you think because I spoke to Junior and also spoke to Utso, and I'm of the opinion that even with Mashiane, there's a moment where after 25 minutes the game is turning into a pattern. Whenever Ahly has the ball, Chiefs is just getting behind the center line. And the opinion from me is that whether Mashiane was there or not, Ahly were going to win this game with the way that the game was turning out at some point. Yes, in the first 10 minutes, it was equal. They were boxing together. But around the 15th, 20th, 25th minute, you could see the superiority the players at Ahly was getting a little bit more pronounced.
Yeah, the superiority basologi khona kulo party. That is why the turning point, the red card, it had a serious impact on the result. It meant the Chiefs had to change formation. So if you look at how they change formation, I didn't also maybe like it. They could have maybe gone for maybe 4-4-1 at least, maybe still hope we can take the game maybe to our penalties or to extra time and penalties. That was the only option. So but in terms of equality from the Ahlys side, no doubt they had strong personalities and strong players in terms of whatever they wanted to do, it worked. And one thing that they also did very well, especially Ahly, is to staff Chiefs ball. It's one situation for to defend. Once you staff your opponents ball, then it means they need also to move from positions, defensive positions to try and get the ball. So, which is something Ahly, they went into the game we are going to staff them the ball. Moments we feel Ahly, they needed to cross the ball. They never crossed the ball. They always looked making it right, making sure at least we attack, they maximize space Tolayo and wait for the right moment to punish Chiefs. So Chiefs, like they never compressed space, especially a mover, as compared to my previous games. Once you give away space, key positions, especially the mover, then it becomes a problem. Overloads, then created a problem for Chiefs.
Would you say you are genuinely surprised by this result? Because Mina, the whole week building up to this, I'm on radio, people are calling me, and I'm like, yo, this is going to be a 3-0 for Ahly. Like, for me, my understanding and the way that I saw these games, and I've been watching Ahly as well, even in their domestic league, there was nothing to me to suggest that they were going to lose today. Were you surprised by the result? Were you surprised by the superiority of the players at Ahly? In the end, does Ahly deserve to win the Star today?
Yeah, Ahly, they deserve to win the Star today because of, in terms of equality, they had the better quality. In terms of your approach, the way, understanding from our players with Ahly, the experience also it counts. But at the end of the day, Maui Pega, it's their 10th Champions League win.
The defending champions.
So I'm defending champions. Then it tells you about the class that they have in their team. Also, then again, the plus also it went to Moguti. They also have a coach as South Africa, which is Pitso, and he understands.
He doesn't have to watch videos.
He doesn't have to watch videos because he understands our players with Chiefs strength for strength. With our weaknesses, our players at his American. So, Maui Pega, I mean, going to a final. The final, sometimes everyone has got a chance. Everybody has got a chance to win it. But then again, the superiority, the superior team won the match.
There you go. Last one then. Yeah, man, it's very tough to lose in the final. But for me, I think in the end, the team that deserved to win won. Would it have been? What would it have meant for Chiefs to win this final, knowing that, number one, we cannot put it down. Like, every time at the end of the tournament, there's a technical report. Go World Cup, go Euro. That's when they say, okay, from the Euros, what we picked up is that most teams, the teams that won, got only 30% of your position. So football is moving to a space where you don't need a ball position, or we're changing to a 3-5-2. You learn something from that technical report because you watch the tournament, and top coaches who are retired, they will write those technical reports. From this tournament, what would it mean for a team like the Chiefs where there's no particular philosophy? They were overly defensive. There is no plan really going forward. If they had won this tournament, and even just getting to the final, what would it have meant to them? Are you concerned, or you just look at it as, Uguti, no man, sometimes good football, some teams go to a final because they won their matches?
Yeah, into kumele sibuyele kuyo ukuthi mawubheka the whole thing eyenzakala the ban also it had an impact ngoba they were not able to sign ama players. They had ama key players like Abu Kama Billiard injured for the most part of the season, so it meant ukuthi ama tactics had to change and azamuksuta what they had, and my ubheke at their disposal they had to rely also to from kuma youngsters, which was something positive from inside like Kaizer Chiefs, which is something mangihlala nami ngibheke ukuthi what are the positives that came out of the whole situation. You look at the situation how it benefited the MDC players, so it meant Abu Plum they grew, Abu Mashiane they grew, Abu Ngobo they grew, Vuma grew, so it meant as a team there was a light at least at the end of the tunnel. Sure. It's not all lost or broken. It means maybe going forward we need to maybe stabilizes into it means now we are able to go to a market, let's stabilize into properly and plan better. If it achieves with the same less quality in the final, then it says something about the belief if we can plan properly and make sure we've got good players at our disposal, it means it's something that we can take serious and challenge for one of well,
unfortunately they're not there next year.
They are not
next
there.
Year they're not there.
Yes, so it's a chance for Bonaguti. They need to solidify his squad sabo or Guti Mabaya Africa, then they stand a better chance of Guti Mabafia final Bakono we win. Then that is one there are positives that came out of the season. So not all it's lost from inside the Chiefs. How many players got a chance to play we finally. It's not something that happens
sure.
very often, especially more you play level. Everybody wants to find themselves we finally in lifting the trophy. So some of the players, Afana Mashiane, is an experience for them, hoping they learn something out of Wanabo Plum, they learn something and grow out of the situation.
All right, there you go. That's Kaizer Chiefs. Once upon a time, in 2002, they lost 4-1 to Ahly, Al-Hadri, the goalkeeper here, Egypt, and Ahly scoring from his own centre half, from his own half, Brian Baloy scoring an own goal. Fast forward to 19 years later, Kaizer Chiefs lose 3-0. A lot of things have changed, but nothing really has changed. iDiskiTimes.co.za, iDiskiTV on Facebook as well, sponsored by World Sports Betting. Thank you so much for watching us.